Hello and welcome. In this session, I'm going to explain how to trim entities in AutoCAD. For this, you can use trim icon on the ribbon, or you can simply type TR to activate trim command on the keyboard and press enter. TR is the shortcut for trim tool. So in this, I will be using trim tool on the ribbon. Press trim tool. After pressing, you will find that it is asking select objects and all hidden command line, and you must have familiar with its application. It is basically trim the extra lines which are crossing certain objects. So we'll be doing trim operation with that. So let's perform this trim operation on this drawing. In this drawing, suppose we want to chip off all these extra lines. For that, we initiate trim command and press enter. As soon as we press enter, all the objects in this drawing and this drawing as well are selected. Now suppose I want to chip off these lines and you want to keep this rectangle. So click on this line. Here you have it. These are clicked. Here it is. These are clicked like this. So this is how you are going to use trim command in most situations, but not always, and you must be using also. So now let's move on to other application of trim command. For example, in this drawing, let's initiate this trim command again, but this time instead of pressing enter, I will select this circle. As soon as you select this circle will mark a boundary for trim command. Now press enter, and then let's click on this line. Once you click on this line, it will be trimmed up to this boundary which we had initially selected. Not up to this boundary, although it passes this boundary also, but it won't trim up to this boundary. You can find the same results with all the remaining lines here also. So that is another way of using trim command. Let's undo it again. Let's start trim command, press enter this time, or let's go ahead with this once again. This time we will select this circle and press enter. Now if you click this line, it will trim obviously up to this point. Even when I click here, it will trim up to this circle, any of the lines. I hope you must have understood the concept of trim tool. Now let's move ahead to other subtool associated with trim. For that, select trim and hit enter. Now we have option fence. Click on this fence and it will ask you to make a fence, but I will select all the snapper off before making a fence. So let's make a fence something like this. Once you make a fence and press enter, you will see that all the extra lines are removed all in once. You don't have to select individually one by one. So this could be handy tool if you want to trim multiple lines all at once. So let's undo it again. Trim command, press enter. Now let's go to this crossing option. Once you click crossing option, you can trim these lines with a crossing window. Now make a selection and a crossing window will appear, and these lines are trimmed using crossing window. No matter how you made this window, either from right to left or from left to right, it will always make a crossing window in this case. Okay, let's go trim again, press enter. This time we will use these two options, edge and erase. Now let's start with erase. Select erase option, select the object you want to erase. Suppose I want to erase this line. Select and click enter. Here you have it. You can erase the selected lines from drawing area. So this is how you erase. Click on undo to get back the line you have erased. Now let's look at edge option. For that, let's move on to this drawing. So click on trim tool and hit enter. Now here we have edge command, select and enter. So you will get two more options, that is extend and no extend. By default, no extend tool is selected. You can go on and select extend command and click enter. Now even if I click here, it is not intersecting this line anywhere, but still when I click this line, it will trim up to the point where this line apparently intersecting this. Let's see how it happens. Click here and there it is. If you extend this line, it will pass through this point. Similar situation can be seen here as well. Once you click this extra portion, it will trim up to apparent intersection of this line edge. So click, select, here you have it. The edge is trimmed. Similar situation can be seen here also. Extend, enter, choose this line and enter. So you can trim up to the point you want to cut off. There is one more option. If you trim a line and you want to bring back the line you trimmed or extend a line, you can press and hold shift button and click the line you want to extend. Suppose I have this object, first trim this and this. So I want to extend this line to here. So press shift key and click this line to extend and this line to extend. So in this way you can trim command. In this way you can use trim command as extend command. I hope you have understood how trim command works and different options available on trim tool. This ends trim command.